Hello and welcome to the exclusive Nobel Peace Prize Concert. We're coming to you live on YouTube from the city of Oslo. Yesterday, here in Oslo Town Hall, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded for 2015, and it was awarded to the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet. That is not an individual, it's actually a group of 4 organizations that all came together to work to promote peace and unity and democracy in Tunisia after their revolution. So tonight, we will celebrate their achievement in an extraordinary concert, and we're broadcasting for the first time live to you through YouTube. I am Derek Muller, the host of Veritasium, a YouTube channel which is all about science. But I was honored to get the call to host this unique live stream and talk to you about peace. Can't tell you how excited I am. We have some massive acts coming up in about half an hour. Let me run through the list. We've got Jason Derulo, the massive global supergroup AHA. We have Kygo and Aurora. These are 2 Norwegian musicians who are just extraordinary. We also have Mø, who teamed up with Major Lazer to do that big hit, Lean On. And we have a fantastic Tunisian artist named Emel, who I will be speaking to very shortly. And of course, the host of this whole night, the host of the TV program who's going to be out on the main stage is the man, the legend, Jay Leno. And I'm just going to walk backstage here and see if we can find him. This is the green room area, and I think that's him right there. Jay.
Yes.
How you doing?
Good. I didn't know you were going to talk to you. I just strap a microphone
You
around
just got
all the
that
time.
microphone.
Yeah. I just always walk around
This
with the mic
guy
strapped
is
to my head.
prepared.
How are you?
You've basically had a microphone on for the last,
That's right.
3
That's
decades.
right. I just keep it in case, you know.
Let's have you over this side.
What do you want me?
Let's have you just over,
Oh,
over
I'll
this
be right
side.
here. Okay.
You're on my show now.
That's right.
Jay.
Okay. Very good.
I appreciate that. Now, tell me what it means for you to be hosting this show tonight.
Well, it's a huge deal. I mean, it's the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, if I was a single guy, you say to a girl, if you have a cat and you tell a girl you're hosting the Nobel Peace Prize, they'll jump in the car.
That is it, right? That's the ticket.
My reasons for doing this are very self-centered.
It does.
No, but I'm happily married. But if I was a single guy, you just kind of go, I've got to go to Oslo this weekend. Why? What? Yes, I'm hosting the Nobel Peace Prize concert. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. And I have a cat. Yeah.
Now, my understanding was you were meant to be retired. Tell me about that.
Well, no, I just retired from the show. I was a stand-up comedian before I got the Tonight Show. And during the Tonight Show, I was on the road at least 2 or 3 days a week. And now I'm just on the road more.
And now I have seen you around the YouTubes. Is that correct? You have a YouTube show.
I got a YouTube show called Jay Leno's Garage, and I have a broadcast show called Jay Leno's Garage. It's kind of like a poor man's Top Gear kind of deal. You know?
But you're no poor man, though.
No,
the garage is very well equipped.
It's got a lot of good stuff.
Let's face it. And recently, you dressed up to drive around in Uber and surprise people. What was that like?
That was kind of fun. I put on a bald wig and drove around and asked people questions.
And people couldn't figure out
Well,
that
I
it was
told
you.
people Uber was experimenting with violent ex-cons that were trying to get back into society. You know, my name was Rocco, and I was a violent ex-con who had learned to deal with my anger by driving people around at night. Yeah.
And how did that go down?
It went great. I mean, some people like a little scared and frightened, but it was actually fun. It was a lot of fun.
So tell me about what we've got going on tonight. Are you excited to see some of these artists? Have you
Well,
worked
I've
with
seen
them
all the
before?
artists because we've done the rehearsal, and it's amazing because you know, I live in the Western world, and like Emel, who is from Tunisia, it's just a side of the world we don't get enough of, at least in the States. You know, I mean, you're all over the place. You're in Australia and Europe, but I'm primarily in the United States, and we're a bit myopic that way. We just don't. You have to work hard to find the other music, the other cultures, you know, and she's really amazing.
Yeah. Now, you and I both attended the actual ceremony yesterday,
right,
where she performed. I mean,
yeah, that was really touching.
Yeah. And what did you make of the ceremony? Was that the first time you've ever been to the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony?
That was the first time I've ever been to the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony. Well, you know, I like the fact that it's very small, and it's very intimate, and it's not like America where we have to have huge publicity and make everything big. And I mean, it's very Norwegian. It's modest. It's
classy, isn't it?
It's classy. It's modest. It's done well. I mean, it's a big thing done small, which is intimate. I thought it was very touching. It was a great ceremony.
Now, I am hosting this live stream on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm very excited about it, but I am not a seasoned host like you are.
Well, I can get some seasoning and we can fix that.
I want to know if you got any tips for me. Like, what do I have to do to be a good host? What does it mean?
Well, I think if you're just interested in the subject matter, that really is it. That's if you have an interest in it, you enjoy talking to people. I mean, I'm always amazed at people that go into show business and don't want to meet fans or sign anything. And I go, why are you in this business? You know, it doesn't make any sense. So.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And the cars.
And the cars.
All right, so you have your show coming on in about 25 minutes.
Right.
I don't want to...
Well, I'm doing this show. It's not my show. I'm just hosting it.
Well, you were hosting this show, but you were
Right.
doing it very soon.
Right.
So I want to give you the opportunity to go get prepared, do what you need to do.
Okay, so that means you're kicking me out?
Well, yeah.
Well, okay.
We're done with you here.
Yeah,
you go back to TV.
All right, well, thank you.
It's
Good
been a
luck.
pleasure.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
The legendary Jay Leno. What an extraordinary figure. Now, coming up, we have a very young, brilliant musician from Norway. Her name is Aurora, and she is singing exclusively for us the Murder Song. Here she is, Aurora.
Five, four, three, two, one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He holds the gun against my head. I close my eyes and bang, I am dead. I know he knows that he's killing me for mercy, and here I go. Oh, 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 and here I go. Oh, oh. And he holds my body in his arms. He didn't mean to do no harm, and he holds me tight. Oh, he did it all to spare me from the awful things in life that comes, and he cries and cries. I know he knows that he's killing me for mercy, and here I go. Oh, 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 and here I go. Oh, oh. He holds my body in his arms. He didn't mean to do no harm, and he holds me tight. Oh, he did it all to spare me from the awful things in life that comes, and he cries and cries. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The gun is gone, and so am I. And here I go.
That was an incredibly powerful performance from the young Aurora, Norwegian singer, and that was exclusive to YouTube. So I might mention that if you want to be able to see that clip, it will be put up on this channel, the Nobel Peace Prize Concert channel. So subscribe to this channel to receive those updates, to be able to see this exclusive content. And I will be speaking to more of the artists later on as we go through the night. Now, of course, we are here celebrating this year's Nobel Peace Prize, which was awarded to the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet. And what they did in Tunisia after the revolution was they stepped in to ensure that democracy would prevail and that a government which worked for all of the people would come to power. And that is something they worked together with through dialogue to make sure that would happen. Now, this prize, the Nobel Peace Prize, is awarded every year in Oslo on December the 10th, which is the anniversary of Alfred Nobel's death. And it's unique in that way. It's the only one of the Nobel Prizes to be awarded outside of Stockholm. So here is a little look around the city of Oslo. This is the city of Oslo. It's actually my second visit, but this one is particularly special for me. I'm Derek Muller, the host of the Veritasium YouTube channels, but I'm here for a very specific purpose. I'm hosting the Nobel Peace Prize YouTube channel, and the first thing I want to do is show you around this fine city. The city of Oslo, city of peace. One thing I like is just how close everything is. You can hop on the subway in downtown Oslo, and in 15 minutes, you're here on the side of a ski slope. You know, they say about Norwegians, they are born with their skis on. We're now back down at the waterfront, and behind me is Oslo Town Hall. It is actually in there where the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony is held. And it's amazing to be in this historic location where people like Nelson Mandela and Al Gore and Malala Yousafzai have come to receive their Nobel Peace Prize. Now, of course, some of the recipients have not been able to attend this ceremony, like Aung San Suu Kyi, because she was under house arrest. But she was later able to come to Oslo, and we can explore more of this Nobel Peace Prize history in the museum right across the way. Walking around in here, I have seen all of the past Nobel Peace Prize laureates, and there are some phenomenal names, very inspirational figures of our time. But this year, we are here to acknowledge these guys, the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartet. What an incredibly brave group of people. We will be meeting the Nobel laureate later in this program. They will appear on stage. Now, of course, we are celebrating what this means for Tunisia. So I want to turn the focus to that revolution. And we have a brilliant Tunisian singer joining us in studio right now. This is Emel Mathlouthi. Emel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
you came to prominence online where you were standing up in a protest and you were singing a protest song. Is that how it went? Is that how it went for you?
Not really.
Tell me about it.
But parts of it. Well, actually, I started writing songs since 2004, and before that, I started performing many years ago. And at some point, my conscience just told me that I needed to do something just to help myself first and to feel useful. And by 2004, I started writing my first essays in Tunisian language, and it came naturally in about the situation that we were facing in Tunisia. And I started writing more songs and performing in underground circles, and I think that's what started pushing me into that direction. And then I decided to leave the country so I could really become 100% musician and artist, because I couldn't become that in Tunisia. And
so some people may have seen this clip, though, where you're standing in a group of protesters and singing, and it's a really powerful image. Do you mind if we have a look at that? Look at that clip? Okay. So can I ask you, what is that song about? What are you singing about there?
The song is about freedom in its broader sense, and it's also about the poor and about the secret of the red rose. The red rose is a metaphor for Tunisia because of its red flag that goes on fire and goes in the streets to call its children to free her.
Right. Now, what was it like growing up in Tunisia? What was that like for you and trying to make music there?
Growing up in Tunisia is somehow like growing up. I mean, I didn't really know what was the difference, but I remember that I grew up with a lot of music around me. I mean, I was very lucky to having listened to a lot of European classical music, and so somehow it inspired my creativity. And as soon as I went to university, I wanted to create my own band, and it was a metal band because I needed a place where I could free all the anger that was inside of me and all the rebelness that I was feeling inside of me.
Wow. And where did that anger come from? From the oppressiveness of the regime, or?
Yes, I think, I mean, as a young person, what we face is a void. We don't have something to look forward to. There are no circles where we could develop our creativity, where we could just try anything as a young person would want to. There was no alternative presented to us, and so very quickly you understand that something is going on and you need that to change. And then you start seeing all the portraits of the president everywhere, and how the speeches are very dumb in the radio and on TV. And so it's very easy, understandable, actually.
Right. And so where do you want to take your music now? And how do you think that can help inspire peace in Tunisia?
Well, where I want to take my music is maybe to just perform everywhere in the world without not necessarily being branded as Tunisian, because I believe that music has to talk to anybody without translation. And I think that there isn't something as peaceful as music, and there isn't something as powerful to bring people together as music. So I think I chose the right thing.
Now, you will be performing in the show today. How do you feel about performing in front of this crowd on the Nobel Peace Prize Concert stage?
Well, first of all, I'm very, very happy and very honored to be here, to have been chosen among other Tunisian artists and to have just been chosen, period. It's such an exciting stage for an artist, because I think when you're a singer, it's just so beautiful to be in a very big stage and to feel as free as your voice can be.
Well, I saw your performance yesterday at the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, and it was absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. So thank you so much, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you can continue on to the green room. I don't want to impede your progress any further than that. That was Emel, who will be performing later. She's coming up, and I am super excited for that. But right now, I want to take us back to the beginning, to the originator of these prizes, the Nobel Prizes. The man was Alfred Nobel. But who was he, and what did the Norwegians know about him? I set out to find out. I want to find out, what do these Norwegians know about Alfred Nobel?
I think he was a peacemaker.
Very peaceful.
Yes.
He did not
so.
make weapons.
No.
No weapons
No.
for Alfred Nobel.
No.
Only peace.
Yeah.
Is he Norwegian?
Yes.
He was Norwegian.
I think he's Swedish.
Alfred Nobel was a Swede, not a Norwegian. He was born in 1833, and he became a chemist, an engineer, an inventor, and an armaments manufacturer. Alfred Nobel invented something famous.
I feel like I should know it.
I can try to give you a hint.
Okay, do it. Oh yeah, those ones.
He invented dynamite.
Dynamite.
His most famous was for dynamite. Now, you might think that Alfred Nobel was all about blowing things up, but he was actually trying to make safer explosives. Now, this allowed him to accumulate incredible wealth.
I think he must have had a very guilty conscience.
Toward the end of his life, Alfred Nobel's obituary was prematurely printed in a French newspaper, and it said, "The merchant of death is dead." Now you can imagine, upon reading this, Alfred was incredibly disappointed. He never had a wife and no kids. Is this really how he was to be remembered? He donated 337 million euros to ensure that his legacy would not be as the merchant of death, but as a supporter of innovation and a friend of peace. The first 3 of these prizes are awarded for eminence in physics, chemistry, and medicine or physiology. The 4th is for literature, and the 5th prize is to be given to the person or society that renders the greatest contribution to the cause of international fraternity. In other words, this is the Peace Prize, and it's why we're here today. And now get a load of this. We are out on the Nobel Peace Prize concert stage. This is truly remarkable. It is a massive auditorium. This is the biggest that the Nobel Peace Prize concert has ever been. We have a sold-out crowd of 8,000 people here, and of course, you are joining us from around the world. And I am just so honored to be part of this concert. You know, normally it's all science for me, but I think now more than ever, we really need to be talking about peace. Hello.
Hi, Derek. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
You can ask them, actually. How are you?
How's everyone doing? That is a pretty extraordinary crowd. We are actually live streaming this event. Do they know?
They know.
We are broadcasting live around the world via YouTube, and I am so excited to be the host on the live stream side. So obviously you cannot partake in that, but all of your friends at home will hopefully be watching. Now, tell me, why are we talking about peace now? Why is it so important to speak about it at this time?
Well, Derek, it's a very big question, but we don't really speak that much about peace. You know, we speak a lot about war. And how often do we gather to celebrate peace?
Never. This is like the only event, and I am so glad to see what a big impact it's having. You know, around this city, in the city, and around the world. It is just phenomenal.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Raidar has told me that yeah, it's about to, we have to rise now. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Royal Highnesses, the Crown Prince and Crown Princess of Norway, and this year's laureates, the Tunisian National Dialogue Quartets.